Hello, fellow traders of the world. Dadas here, speaking to you from the Dadas Trading Room Discord server. My Dadas Trading Room on the Discord platform is a place where every day I stream all my trading live. In other words, during the London session and the American session, you can watch me trading live. You can watch my screen, you can watch what I'm doing, and you can also interact with me, speak with me, or chat with me on the voice channel or on the text channel. And I sincerely invite everybody. Also, every day I make the daily recap videos. One in Polish, the other one in English. So this is the one that I'm now making in English. So you can see them on my YouTube channel, or you can simply look into my Dadas Trading Room Discord server, and there's a channel called Daily Recap, and you will have all the videos in there one by one. So you have all the links, and you can watch them and listen to them. As far as the daily recap for today, what happened on the DAX 30 market that I trade? Basically the same thing as the 3 days before. Today was the continuation of this consolidation. So in other words, this violent movement downwards that happened took place on Tuesday. And then the market was just moving inside this consolidation. Yesterday it kind of broke out for a moment, but it didn't really break out. It returned. It was like something people sometimes call false breakout, FBO. It came back down, then it came back up again, and today we basically had the same thing. The market practically did almost identical thing as yesterday, only the movement wasn't as big as yesterday. Also, the range today was smaller. It was only 260 pips altogether from high to low. So we can see that the market was moving in the same range, only from high to low a little bit smaller than yesterday. Anyways, what happened with me today was that I kind of overslept. Maybe it was because of the air pressure, and the bad weather. Because rainy, very rainy and cloudy, and probably low air pressure, and the fact that I usually go to sleep very late. Basically it's past midnight, basically even past 1 a.m. usually. So I overslept, and I got up almost at noon. So when I got up, I saw this situation right there already. So I saw this situation right here, and I'll show you my trade. I only took one trade today, and this trade I decided like this. I said, according to me, I see clearly that the market is doing the same thing. So I'm not gonna go long. I'm gonna go short. I'm just gonna go at a minimum trading volumes of 0.1 lot, and I thought to myself, I'll just see how much I can take out of this market. And also you see that the market didn't start going down immediately, so I was also using the so-called mental stop loss right there. I was simply ready, because this was a minimum position. I was ready to add more to this position, like 0.2, if the market would make a higher high, because basically that my thinking was this could be the daily high, or perhaps the market is going to make a new high, and then I'll go along with the market when it's going to be making the upper wick, right? Because today is well, first of all, end of the day and end of the week. So basically, we can expect the market to be making the upper wick of the weekly candle and the upper wick of the daily candle, right? Well, basically, this is what happened. I mean, you can see that the day is more or less again consolidating. Only right now, it's showing a little bit like a more bearish than bullish, but it's basically still today. The whole range of today's market is an inside candle. If we look at yesterday's high and low, right? So today's high and low is inside yesterday's high and low. So basically the market was still trading the prices from yesterday. Why did I close the trade right there? Well, mostly because of the price action and of this level that potentially could have been a good demand level right here, as you can see. And this bounce back right there, so this long wick, and then what the price was doing. So I just decided to close. I mean, I wanted to close at more pips, like 65 or 67, but the market was doing pretty violent moves right here, and I managed to close 60 pips. I'm pretty satisfied because that's one of the pip wise, one of the better trades that I've made. Well, we can clearly see what happened later. The market decided to continue, and it continued on. So basically, you see that basically I could have done this a little bit differently. I could have waited out for this price action right there, and then I could have gotten in somewhere right here. But then if I had gotten in right there, I would be trading those smaller ranges, like 20 pips, right? And I didn't feel like playing around like this today. So basically, I decided that I would be trading this potentially something potentially something like this, perhaps, yeah. But I wasn't, something like this, perhaps. So I was counting actually on the price reaching the second level, right? Like if this is the first level, then this is the second level, and more or less that's where I was attempting to close the trade, and I actually did close the trade right there. And that's it. I mean, the markets, you see, the market still continued on a little bit. A little bit. I mean, that would have been like if I had waited for the next level, would have been over twice as much, right? It would have been like 127 pips. Oh no, 3 times as much. So yeah, because we have 120 pips down here, and that's only 60. So yeah. Anyways, that's what I did today, and that's it. Now we can take a look at this market from the perspective of the H4 candles one more time. We can see that this is exactly this consolidation, right? It's still in this consolidation right here. Either we can do it like this, or we can click it like this, right? It's still this consolidation. Or if you want to go downwards, So basically, what do we know right now? Basically, we don't know anything. So if anybody who's telling you that they know that the price is going to go up or the price is going to go down, that's total bullshit. They don't know. Now, it seems to be the most difficult thing to do for a person to acknowledge that they actually don't know. And basically that's also true not only in trading, but it's also true in life, where people create all kinds of stupid ideas that because they don't know, it must be whatever you put in there, whatever. That's the stupidest thing you can do. The only honest answer is if you don't know, you simply don't know, right? And that's it. You don't know. The same thing here in trading. If you don't know, you just better not to trade, right? Trade when you know. In other words, when do you know? Well, I'll show you down here. For example, if we look at the situation down here, so where is the consolidation? We can find a consolidation and a breakout from the consolidation. We can clearly see that these three candles right there are very 3H4 candles are candles of very decisive and dynamic movement, bullish movement, right? Bullish price movement. What does it mean? It simply means that in these areas there was a big deficiency of the other side of the trade, so there were practically no sellers, right? There were or very few sellers. I mean, of course, the price moved up and down, yeah. But generally, on the general concept, on general idea, there were there was a insufficiency of sellers. That's why the price was going up, looking for sell orders, right? Yeah, or yeah, we can later adjust this. Perhaps a little bit when we can see further price action. Nevertheless, these levels, right? These levels, you see that this level was never retested. This level was never retested. These levels were retested. Yeah. So basically, if you understand how this works, I mean how the general general system works, right? So basically, there are banks and there are clients of banks, right? Now, if a client comes to a bank, let's say this client is a hedge fund or something like this, or a pretty big investor, and they say, or even if it's not an investor, but it's like maybe somebody who has to exchange something, right? I mean, in the case of stocks, then of course it would be rather an investor, somebody who wants to buy, sell stocks. In the case of the foreign exchange market, it will be perhaps companies that simply need to exchange money. So this client comes to the bank and he says that he needs to, for example, sell this and this amount of dollars, or buy this and this amount of euros, or whatever, or yens, or yeah. So now, what does that person, that dealing clerk in the bank, what's his role? His role is to actually, I mean, he's already negotiated the price with the client. He has his margin on it, right? He knows how much money he's making, but he still has to put the money in the market, and he has to get the price that the client or then the bank is interested in, right? So let's say that somebody was had to buy whatever had to buy right here, right? And the price moved away very quickly. So there was an insufficient amount of sellers, so their orders did not get filled, or at least some of their orders some of their orders didn't get filled, right? Now, the perfect idea, the perfect situation would be if we could see those orders and see if there actually are some orders pending right there or right there, right? Well, we cannot see that, and that's the problem. Now, after the fact, we can be pretty damn sure that at this level there were some unfilled orders, and pretty much unfilled orders right here, obviously, because the price was coming down and bouncing off this level. So every time you see this bounce, it means that there was a big packet of orders that got filled right here and went up. And the price went up, and that's what the price keeps doing right here. Seems like there is still a pretty big number of orders lying somewhere on this level, because the price keeps retesting this level, right? So in other words, if we do this again, right? If we do this again and we find for ourselves this consolidation level, right? Then yeah, we can even do it like this, right? And yeah, so find the level where the price is retesting, yeah, and we can go by open close prices, yeah, and we can see where the price is retesting. So what is this? Is this a bearish market, or is this a bullish market? Well, basically it's a bullish market, because that's what happens. What is a consolidation? A consolidation is a situation where there is more or less the same amount of buyers and sellers, right? More or less, which means that the buyer will find the seller and the seller will find the buyer, and they will be satisfied. At a specific moment, the price will, when there is when the buying and the selling stops for some reason. For example, somebody has reached their goal, right? So then they are not anymore present in that market. So that's when the price starts moving out of this consolidation, because the orders have been fulfilled. We can even look at it like this. We can look at it from the perspective. We can look at it from the perspective of the smallest consolidation. So the smallest consolidation will be right here on these 1, 2, 3, 4 candles. Yeah, and then we have a break and another break and another break, and the price somehow finds this level right now, and that's the same thing as I would have extended this consolidation, right, level. And what do we know at this moment? We know exactly what we see. We know that the price is going sideways, right? So there is no trend in this level of prices, even though this could be a pretty big range, because basically the range from high to low right here is 350 pips, over 350 pips. So for a day trader, that's absolutely a big amount of money, yeah. But simply, if we have a consolidation, we don't know if there's a trend or there isn't. I mean, basically, there isn't a trend, right? There could be many smaller trends on smaller time frames, but in this context, there is no trend. So generally, there is no trend. I mean, on the smaller time frames, we can also see that, like on the M15, we also see that there is actually no trend, because the price is just going from level to level, right? Coming out a little bit and then returning back and just going from level to level. And that's all we know. Nobody else knows anything. So if we want to trade trends, we should trade breakouts, and then you see, this is pretty clear right here, right now. It kind of turns out to be pretty clear what this level right here is, and why there was a reaction right there, right? There was actually a reaction right there, but the price, there was another reaction right there, but then the market continued down. But there was a reaction on exactly the same what do you call them, circumstances as described before. In other words, there was an untested level, right? A level, or yeah, perhaps it was tested right there. But anyways, there was a level where obviously, for some reason, there were just unfulfilled orders. Unfilled orders. Somewhere right here and right there must have been some unfilled orders. And that's why the market bounced off, because they got filled. Buy orders, right? There were buy orders and they got filled. But that doesn't mean that that the market in general will turn around, because it all depends if there is if somewhere over here there are sell orders waiting, right? And obviously there were more sell orders right here than buy orders. Those orders got filled, but they just got filled enough for this kind of movement. And then there were more sell orders right there, and they got filled again, and then the price started going down, back down. Same thing happened here. Exactly same thing happened here on this level. Yeah, true. If we could see those orders, I mean physically see, or even if we can see those orders, we would have to have very great skills in processing a lot of data at the same time, which becomes pretty difficult. I mean, some people have this ability, but not all, right? Not everybody. So basically, we just find the consolidations, right? We can find the consolidations and we can trade the consolidations. Or in this moment, the best context. At this moment, the best context would have actually been this one. And then, as you can see, I would still take one trade, but I should have actually taken this trade after this price action right there. Yeah, after this price action right here. So in other words, I have a signal, I have a price action, I have some confirmation of this price action. So basically, I could even do it like this, right? I could do it like this. So find myself this consolidation right here, find the breaks, find the resistance, and then trade from this level to this level, and basically I would have gotten like around 70 pips. So that would have been just a bit better than this, but the trade would have been more clear. I mean, there wouldn't have been so many drawdowns, right, or pullbacks in the opposite direction, and then the price would have moved quicker. About the same thing right here. The only point is that I wouldn't be able to get in this trade because the price was already right there. So I would have gotten maybe like 30-40 pips right there. But still, that would have been a good enough trade, right? So what is the difficulty actually? The difficulty is that in the moment when it's a psychological thing. It's when we are in the moment, we tend to lose our further perspective, and we stop thinking so quickly. I mean, I think I'm getting better at this. Every day I'm getting better at this, but I still am not so good as I would like to be, because I would like to be as good as I'm showing you right now, right here. Yeah. So in other words, if I got my signal right here, if I got my sell signal right here, that was what I was supposed to do, and I should have waited until I had until I had some price action that showed me a bearish trend. Well, there was no price action right here that showed me bearish trend, because this price action was still showing bullish trend. So I would have to do the same thing on every candle until I actually found the level, and then after seeing some price breakout at least once, at least break down once, then I would have to find this consolidation level, right? And then see what happened on the left side right here. Yeah. So you see, I was basically kind of trading this, but a little bit immaturely, right? I mean, prematurely, a little bit prematurely, right there, because the market still went up and then decided to go down because I didn't see that high yet, right? But then I can trade this context, or I could trade another breakout. So basically this bigger breakout, because obviously if we look at it from a very simple perspective, this is still not these lows are still not lower lows, right? Because this is still in this sequence, we still have a sequence of higher highs, right? In this sequence we still have a sequence of higher highs, and we here still have a sequence of higher lows. Now these lows are now starting to be lower lows, right? These lows are now starting to be lower lows because we are now having a sequence of lower highs and lower lows, and then we can so basically that's how it works. Okay, so I've told you a lot today. So this is the end of the week. Tomorrow we're having the weekend. Hopefully the weather gets better, because it's pretty rainy and relatively cold. So tomorrow I will be recording the video for my Patreons, for my VIPs, the weekly overview, and on this Sunday I will be recording the Sunday of the Dadas trading system in English. So I sincerely invite you. The Sunday with Dadas trading system is for everybody. Obviously everybody who has the role of trader, and then everybody who joins my server gets the role of trader. If you want to become my VIP, then you need to become my Patreon at a minimum of $5 per month for English speakers. Well, this promotion isn't gonna last forever, so basically the normal tier is $17 per month to become my VIP on my Dadas Trading Room Discord server. Okay, yeah, so please please subscribe, join my Discord server, become my Patreon. All the links are below in the descriptions. Thank you for today. Have a nice weekend. Please keep safe, please keep healthy, and see you next time. Bye.